But without further ado, we got a bunch of hot stories for you today on this special day of 420. And we're going to get right into it. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte, who loves to play 420 games, but always makes sure to do that strictly with adults. Totally excludes his children in all of his 420 games. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte.
Thank you, Jason. So my story is on the hill. I know Gretchen Gailey is always on the hill, and she has some great news for us today, too. But mine is about an 80-year-old man, Joe Biden. With all due respect to those among us who've been blessed with the privilege of living on this earth for that long, there's only so much you can do at 80 years old fast. But he was rightfully elected as the 46th president of the United States of America, which is a position that demands a sense of urgency from a divided constituency who don't have the luxury of guaranteed jobs, investments, or foresight into what tomorrow is going to bring. And quite frankly, most of them don't think they're going to be 80 years old. They want to live that long. But if you do want to make a promise, so if you do make a promise to do something, as the president of the United States, you need to make sure that it gets done expediently or run the risk of losing confidence from the same people that voted you into office. That being said, it's been 6 months now since President Biden announced a 3-step plan to pardon all federal simple cannabis possession offenses. The move faced a fair amount of criticism as being toothless from a federal standpoint, and he urged all governors to do the same at the state level and launch a review into cannabis scheduling under Controlled Substances Act, CSA, ahead of today's 420 holiday. 85 industry advocacy organizations wrote a letter aimed at nudging Biden to move forward on his promise to enact cannabis policy reform and officially reschedule, not deschedule, but reschedule, federally reschedule cannabis once and for all. Looking to push for federal action, the coalition of local, state, and national groups letter started off with a strong call tying descheduling to economic, civil rights, and righting the nation's past wrongs, all issues that Biden campaigned on and regularly promotes himself as being down with. Here's how it started. We urge you and your administration to take the steps necessary to deschedule marijuana in conjunction with other administrative actions that center Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. Additionally, we implore your administration to support comprehensive marijuana reform legislation in Congress, such as the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act, the CAOA, a bill that deschedules marijuana, repairs the past harms of prohibition, and provides a regulatory framework for marijuana markets. If you guys have time, go ahead and read the letter. It's like 10 pages long. I don't think Joe Biden even got through 3 pages of that, but they did it. And per the article, the letter called out Biden's pardons as excluding many non-citizens currently facing immigration consequences, including mandatory detention of deportation due to minor cannabis possession convictions. And beyond descheduling, it urged Biden and his administration to facilitate comprehensive reform rooted in equity. This would include automatic expunging federal cannabis cases and creating pathways to resentencing and release. We all here know that rescheduling at this point is not the way, but descheduling is the only path forward to salvaging the industry and protecting the folks that actually fought so hard to make it this far and not give everything up to major corporations and big pharma. But at the end of the day, America's an oligarchy, and the paltry amount of lobbying money that's come from the industry ain't even a drop in the bucket compared to the gallons dumped on Congress routinely by the same industries threatened by cannabis eating into their bottom lines. Personally, I don't think the letter will do much to move the needle for old Joe, who's been anti-cannabis from the jump, but the more publicized, coordinated efforts from folks who actually care about the industry and care about the future, the better. This is Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street. Interested in hearing what the rest of the team thinks of this one. Happy 420.